My beloved child, I see you there in the stillness of this moment, and I see your anxiety. I see every worried thought that circles through your mind like restless birds seeking a place to land. I see the tension you carry in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the racing of your heart when fears whisper their dark predictions into the quiet moments of your day. I see it all, and I want you to know that I am here with you now, in this very moment, speaking words of peace directly into the center of your anxious heart. You are not alone in this struggle, my precious one. You have never been alone, not even in your darkest hours when the weight of worry felt too heavy to bear. I have been there beside you, closer than your own breath, waiting for you to recognize my presence, longing for you to lean into my embrace and find the rest that your weary soul so desperately needs. Tonight, as you prepare to release the burdens of this day and enter into peaceful sleep, I want to speak truth over every anxious thought, every fearful imagination, every worry that has stolen your peace and robbed you of the joy I have freely given you. I know the anxiety feels overwhelming at times, like waves that crash over you without warning, leaving you gasping for air and wondering if you will ever find solid ground beneath your feet again. I know how the worries multiply in the darkness, how one concerned thought leads to another, and then another, until you find yourself trapped in a maze of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios that steal your sleep and cloud your mind with exhausting possibilities. I see how you try to control every outcome, how you attempt to plan for every contingency, how you exhaust yourself trying to protect against every possible danger or disappointment that might come your way. I understand this impulse, my child, because I understand your heart. You are trying to create safety in a world that often feels uncertain and unpredictable. You are trying to shield yourself and those you love from pain and loss, and all the difficulties that come with living in a broken world. But I want you to know something important tonight, something that can change everything if you will receive it deep into your spirit where anxiety takes root. You were never meant to carry these burdens alone. You were never designed to manage every detail of your life through your own strength and wisdom. You were created to walk in partnership with me, to share every concern with me, to cast every anxiety upon me, because I care for you with a love that is deeper and stronger and more faithful than you can possibly imagine. When I walked on earth in human form, I experienced many of the same pressures and concerns that you face now. I knew what it was like to feel the weight of responsibility, to be aware of all that could go wrong, to face uncertain outcomes and difficult circumstances that were beyond my human control. I felt the physical sensations of stress and pressure. I experienced sleepless nights in prayer, wrestling with the path ahead. But through it all, I maintained a deep connection with my Father, a trust that ran deeper than circumstances, a peace that transcended understanding, because it was rooted not in favorable conditions, but in the unchanging character of God. This is the same peace I offer to you now, the same trust I invite you to embrace, the same connection with the Father that sustained me through every trial and continues to sustain me as I intercede for you even now at the right hand of God. You do not have to figure everything out tonight. You do not have to solve every problem or resolve every concern before you can rest. You do not have to have all the answers or know exactly how everything will work out before you can release your grip on control and surrender into the peace I am offering you right now in this moment. Let me speak to some of the specific anxieties that I see weighing on your heart. I see your financial concerns, the way you lie awake calculating numbers and wondering if there will be enough, if you will be able to meet your obligations and provide for yourself and those who depend on you. I see you anxiously checking accounts and budgets, trying to stretch resources that feel insufficient for your needs, worrying about unexpected expenses that might arise and overwhelm your carefully constructed plans. My child, I want to remind you that I am the same God who fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish, who provided manna in the wilderness for 40 years, who promised that if you seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, all the things you need will be added to you. I am not asking you to be irresponsible or foolish with your resources, but I am asking you to trust that I see your needs and I am faithful to provide. Your heavenly Father knows what you need before you even ask. And just as I care for the birds of the air who neither sow nor reap, yet never go hungry, just as I clothe the lilies of the field with beauty that surpasses Solomon in all his glory, so I will care for you who are far more valuable than many sparrows, who are precious beyond measure in my sight. I see your anxiety about relationships, the way you worry about what others think of you, whether you are loved and accepted, whether the connections you value will last, or whether they will slip away, leaving you isolated and alone. I see how you replay conversations in your mind, analyzing every word and gesture, wondering if you said the wrong thing or if someone is upset with you or pulling away. I see how you try to manage other people's perceptions of you, how you exhaust yourself attempting to be what you think others need or want you to be, how you lose yourself in the process of trying to maintain peace and avoid conflict and ensure that everyone around you is happy and satisfied. My beloved, you were not created to live under the tyranny of other people's opinions or expectations. You were created for authentic connection, for relationships rooted in genuine love and acceptance, not for the exhausting performance of trying to earn approval through perfect behavior or constant people-pleasing. I accept you completely, just as you are, with all your imperfections and struggles and areas where you are still growing and learning. My love for you is not based on your performance or productivity or how well you manage to keep everyone around you happy. My love for you is unconditional, unwavering, and absolutely secure. When you root your identity in my love, rather than in the shifting opinions of others, when you find your worth in my unchanging acceptance rather than in human approval, you will discover a freedom that releases you from the anxiety of constantly trying to measure up to standards that were never meant to define you. I see your anxiety about your health, the way every unusual sensation in your body triggers alarm, the way you find yourself searching symptoms online and imagining the worst possible diagnoses, the way you worry about aging and decline, and all the vulnerabilities that come with living in a physical body that is subject to illness and injury and eventual death. I understand these fears, my child, because I too lived in a human body. I experienced hunger and thirst and exhaustion. I felt physical pain. I understand the fragility of human existence, the awareness that this earthly life is temporary and that our bodies are susceptible to countless maladies that can cause suffering and limit our abilities and ultimately bring our time on earth to an end. But I want you to remember that your body, as precious as it is not the sum total of who you are. You are an eternal being, a spirit that will live forever, and this physical life is just the beginning of your existence. I have overcome death itself, so that you need never fear the ultimate end that seems so threatening to those who do not know me. And in the meantime, I am with you in every health challenge, every physical limitation, every moment of pain or weakness. I am the healer, and while I do not always heal in the ways or timing we would prefer, I am always working for your ultimate good, always bringing redemption even out of suffering, always present with you in the midst of every trial. You can trust me with your body, with your health, with all the uncertainties that come with physical existence. I see your anxiety about the future, the way you try to peer ahead into tomorrow and next week and next year, attempting to anticipate every challenge and prepare for every possibility, exhausting yourself with worries about things that may never come to pass. I see how you create elaborate disaster scenarios in your imagination, how you catastrophize potential outcomes, how you rob yourself of today's peace by borrowing tomorrow's troubles before they even arrive. My child, I specifically instructed my followers not to be anxious about tomorrow, because tomorrow will be anxious for itself, and each day has enough trouble of its own. This was not empty platitude or naive optimism. This was wisdom rooted in understanding how human beings are designed to function. You were created to live one day at a time, to receive each day as a gift from my hand, to trust that the grace and strength and provision you need for tomorrow will be there when tomorrow comes. Just as the grace you need for today is available to you right now, in this present moment. When you mentally live in tomorrow, or next week, or next year, you are trying to carry burdens that do not yet exist with strength that has not yet been given. This is why future-focused anxiety feels so overwhelming and why it drains you so completely. You are attempting to do something you were never designed to do. But when you bring your attention back to this present moment, when you focus on what is actually in front of you right now rather than all the possibilities that might happen later, you will find that the present moment is almost always manageable. The grace for right now is always sufficient. The strength for this moment is always enough. I see your anxiety about your work and your purpose, the way you wonder if you are doing enough, if you are making a meaningful contribution, if your life matters in the grand scheme of things. I see how you compare yourself to others who seem more successful or more talented or more productive, how you measure yourself against impossible standards and always find yourself coming up short. I see the pressure you put on yourself to achieve and accomplish and prove your worth through your efforts and outputs. My beloved child, your value is not determined by your productivity or achievements or by how you measure up against anyone else. You are valuable simply because you exist, because I created you with intentionality and purpose, because I love you with an everlasting love that has nothing to do with what you can do for me or produce for my kingdom. Yes, I have good works prepared for you to walk in, and yes, I have given you gifts and abilities that I desire to see flourish and bear fruit. But your identity is not found in your work or accomplishments. Your identity is found in being my beloved child, and that identity is secure regardless of how much you accomplish or fail to accomplish on any given day. I am not a harsh taskmaster demanding endless productivity from exhausted servants. I am a loving father who delights in you, who sees you and knows you and loves you completely apart from anything you can do to earn or deserve that love. I see your anxiety about decisions you need to make, the way you agonize over choices both large and small, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice and suffering consequences you cannot undo. I see how you seek endless advice and gather infinite information, hoping that enough research or counsel will give you absolute certainty about which path to take. I see how you second-guess yourself even after making a decision, wondering if you should have chosen differently. Tormented by doubt about whether you heard my voice correctly or missed some crucial piece of guidance that would have led you in a better direction. My child, I want to free you from this paralyzing fear of making mistakes. Yes, some decisions carry significant consequences, and yes, wisdom requires thoughtful consideration and seeking counsel and bringing your choices before me in prayer. But I am not hiding the right answer from you like some cosmic game where you have to guess correctly or suffer disaster. I am actively involved in your life, guiding you, speaking to you, working all things together for good because you love me and are called according to my purpose. Even when you make choices that seem like mistakes in hindsight, even when you take a wrong turn or miss what seems like a better path, I'm able to redeem those choices and bring good out of them. I am not limited by your human fallibility or lack of perfect wisdom. I can work with wherever you are, whatever choice you made, whatever path you are currently walking. Trust that I am big enough to guide you, that my spirit within you is actively leading you into truth, and that even when you stumble, I am there to catch you and set your feet on solid ground once again. I see your anxiety about your children or the people you love, the way you worry about their choices and their futures, the way you feel responsible for protecting them from all harm and steering them away from all mistakes. I see how you lie awake at night thinking about their struggles, how you replay their problems in your mind, searching for solutions you can provide, how you exhaust yourself trying to fix things that may not be yours to fix. My beloved, I love the people you care about even more than you do. I love them with a perfect love that knows exactly what they need, that sees not just who they are today, but who they are becoming, that understands their journey in ways you never could. I am at work in their lives, even when you cannot see it, even when circumstances look discouraging, even when they make choices that concern you or break your heart. You cannot control their paths or shield them from every consequence or ensure that they never experience pain or difficulty. But you can trust them to me, knowing that I am faithful, that I am pursuing them with relentless love, that I have good plans for them even when the current chapter looks dark or disappointing. Your job is not to be their savior. I am their savior. Your job is to love them, to pray for them, to be a faithful presence in their lives, and to trust that I am doing a work in them that goes far deeper than you can see from your limited human vantage point. Let me speak now to the physical sensations of anxiety that trouble you, because anxiety is not just mental or emotional, but deeply physical as well. I see how your heart races, how your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, how your muscles tense and your stomach churns and your head aches with the strain of constant worry. I see how exhausting it is to live in a body that is perpetually in fight or flight mode, constantly on alert for danger, never fully able to relax into safety and rest. Tonight, I want to minister to your physical body as well as your mind and spirit. I want you to feel my peace settling into your nervous system like a gentle wave of warm relaxation. Feel your shoulders dropping, the tension releasing from muscles that have been clenched for far too long. Feel your breathing deepening and slowing, your lungs expanding fully as you draw in breath and release it slowly, exhaling all the stress and strain you have been carrying. Feel your heartbeat steadying, returning to a calm and regular rhythm as you rest in my presence. I created your body with remarkable capacity for healing and restoration, and when you bring your anxiety to me and allow my peace to fill you, your body can shift out of that perpetual stress response and into a state of rest and renewal. This is not just spiritual truth, but physical reality. Your body needs this rest, this release, this return to the calm state it was designed to inhabit. As you rest tonight, I am restoring your nervous system, releasing tension from your muscles, bringing healing to body systems that have been strained by prolonged stress. I want you to understand something important about anxiety, my child. Anxiety is not a sin or a failure or a sign of weak faith. Anxiety is a human response to living in a fallen world where things are uncertain and outcomes are unknown and painful experiences are real possibilities. Some of the most faithful people in Scripture experienced anxiety. David cried out in the Psalms about his anxious thoughts and troubled heart. The prophet Jeremiah expressed deep distress about his circumstances. Even I, in the Garden of Gethsemane, experienced such intense anguish about what lay ahead that my sweat became like drops of blood. Anxiety itself is not the problem. The question is what you do with that anxiety when it arises. Do you allow it to drive you further into fear and isolation, or do you bring it to me and allow me to meet you in the midst of it with my perfect love that casts out fear? Do you rehearse your worries over and over in your mind until they grow into monsters that dominate your thoughts, or do you take every anxious thought captive and bring it into obedience to truth? I am not angry with you for feeling anxious. I am not disappointed in you for struggling with worry. I am here to help you, to walk with you through these feelings, to teach you how to bring your anxious thoughts to me and exchange them for my peace. The peace I offer you is not the absence of challenges or the guarantee that everything will go exactly as you hope and plan. The peace I offer you is the presence of God in the midst of whatever circumstances you face. It is the deep knowing that you are not alone, that you are loved, that you are held secure in hands that will never let you go no matter what storms may come. It is the confidence that comes from trusting in a God who is absolutely faithful, who keeps every promise, who works all things together for good for those who love him. This peace is available to you right now, not as something you must earn or achieve, but as a gift I freely give to all who come to me with open and honest hearts. You do not have to pretend you are not anxious. You do not have to put on a brave face or muster up positive thoughts or convince yourself that everything is fine when it does not feel fine. Come to me exactly as you are, with all your worries and fears and anxious thoughts, and let me meet you there. Let me speak my truth over your anxiety. Let me replace fear with faith, panic with peace, worry with worship. I want to teach you a different way of responding when anxiety rises within you. Instead of fighting against it, or being ashamed of it, or trying to suppress it, and pretend it does not exist, I want you to recognize it as an invitation to turn toward me. When you feel your chest tightening and your thoughts beginning to spiral, that is your cue to pause, to take a deep breath, to consciously bring your awareness back to my presence with you. You might pray something simple like this: Jesus, I am feeling anxious right now, and I need your help. I am bringing this worry to you. I am choosing to trust you with this situation that is beyond my control. Speak your truth to me. Fill me with your peace. Then be still for a moment and listen. Pay attention to what rises in your spirit. Notice the gentle whispers of truth that counter the loud voices of fear. I am here, beloved. I am with you. You are safe in my care. I have not forgotten you. I am working even now. Trust me, rest in me. These are the truths I speak over your anxiety when you turn your attention toward me, instead of allowing your attention to be consumed by the object of your worry. There is a profound difference between concern and anxiety, and I want to help you understand this distinction. Concern is appropriate awareness of a situation that needs attention or action. Concern motivates wise planning and prudent decision-making. Concern can actually be helpful when it prompts you to address something that needs to be addressed. Anxiety, on the other hand, is concern that has broken free from its useful function and become obsessive, circular, and paralyzing. Anxiety is what happens when your mind fixates on a problem and rehearses it endlessly without arriving at any resolution or peace. Anxiety is concern that has been amplified by fear until it dominates your thoughts and steals your joy and robs you of the ability to be present in the current moment. I am not asking you to be unconcerned about the real challenges in your life. I am asking you to bring those concerns to me, to take appropriate action where action is needed, and then to release them into my care rather than allowing them to spiral into obsessive worry that accomplishes nothing except stealing your peace and exhausting your spirit. Let me address the lies that anxiety tells you, because anxiety is an expert liar. Anxiety tells you that you must figure everything out right now, that you cannot rest until every problem is solved and every question is answered. But this is a lie. You can rest now. You can release your grip on control now. The problems will still be there tomorrow if they need your attention, but right now, in this moment, you can rest. Anxiety tells you that something terrible is going to happen, that disaster is just around the corner, that the worst-case scenario is the most likely outcome. But this is a lie. The catastrophic outcomes anxiety predicts rarely come to pass, and even when difficult things do happen. I am with you in the midst of them, providing strength and grace and resources you cannot imagine from your current vantage point. Anxiety tells you that you are all alone in your struggles, that no one understands, that you must manage everything by yourself. But this is a lie. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. I understand you completely. I see you, I know you, and I am actively involved in every detail of your life. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you will never be alone because I have promised never to leave you or forsake you. Anxiety tells you that you are not enough, that you lack what you need to face what is ahead, that you will be overwhelmed and defeated by circumstances beyond your ability to handle. But this is a lie. My power is made perfect in weakness. My strength is available to you in unlimited measure. When you are weak, then you are strong because my strength flows through you. You do not have to be enough in your own strength because I am enough. I am more than enough. I am abundantly sufficient for every challenge you will ever face. Anxiety tells you that you must control outcomes, that if you do not maintain vigilant oversight of every detail, then everything will fall apart. But this is a lie. I am sovereign over all things. I am orchestrating circumstances and working in ways you cannot see to bring about good purposes that far exceed your limited human understanding. You were never meant to be in control of outcomes. That was never your job. Your job is to be faithful with what is in front of you today, to walk in obedience to what I show you in this present moment, and to trust me with all the results and outcomes and future developments that are beyond your power to determine. As you lie here tonight preparing for sleep, I want you to practice a simple exercise that can help retrain your anxious mind. Think of one thing you are worried about, just one specific concern that has been troubling you. Now, instead of rehearsing all the reasons you are worried or all the ways this situation could go wrong, I want you to deliberately turn your attention to truth. What do you know to be true about me? I am faithful, I am loving, I am powerful, I am wise, I am present, I am good, I keep my promises, I work all things together for good, I provide for my children. I never abandon those who trust in me. Now, how do these truths apply to the situation you are worried about? If I am faithful, then I will be faithful in this situation. If I am loving, then I am working lovingly even in this circumstance that concerns you. If I am powerful, then I am able to intervene and help in ways you cannot imagine. If I am wise, then I understand this situation far better than you do, and I know the best path forward even when it is not clear to you. If I am present, then I am with you in the midst of this challenge, not distant or uncaring, but intimately involved and deeply committed to your well-being. Do you see what happens when you shift from anxious rumination to meditation on truth? The situation itself may not have changed, but your perspective shifts, your spirit calms. Peace begins to seep into the places where anxiety has been dwelling. This is the practice I want you to cultivate, my beloved. When anxiety rises, turn toward truth. When worry begins to spiral, interrupt that spiral by deliberately focusing your mind on what you know to be true about my character and my promises. This is not denial of real concerns or pretending problems do not exist. This is anchoring yourself to reality that is deeper and more solid than circumstances, reality that does not shift with the changing winds of human events. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My character does not change with your circumstances. My love for you is not dependent on whether everything in your life is going smoothly or whether you are facing difficulties. I am your constant, your anchor, your solid ground in a world that often feels unstable and uncertain. When you train your mind to return to this foundation again and again, you will find that anxiety has less power over you. It may still arise, but it will not dominate. It may still whisper its fears, but you will have a louder voice speaking truth that drowns out those fearful whispers. I see your anxiety about being a burden to others, the way you hesitate to share your struggles because you do not want to trouble anyone with your problems. I see how you isolate yourself, believing that you should be able to handle everything on your own, that asking for help is weakness or imposing on others who have their own concerns to deal with. My child, this isolation is not from me. I designed you for community, for connection, for mutual care and support. The body of Christ is meant to function as a body, with each part caring for the others, bearing one another's burdens, rejoicing with those who rejoice and weeping with those who weep. When you hide your struggles and pretend everything is fine when it is not, you rob others of the opportunity to love you and support you and minister to you in your time of need. You also rob yourself of the comfort and strength that comes through genuine human connection and practical help from others who care about you. I am not asking you to dump all your anxieties on everyone you meet, or to be inappropriately vulnerable with people who have not earned your trust. But I am asking you to let down your walls with safe people, to be honest about your struggles, to allow others to see your humanity, and to offer the help and support that genuine community provides. Let me speak to the perfectionistic tendencies that often fuel anxiety, the belief that if you just try hard enough, plan well enough, and control carefully enough, you can create outcomes that are perfectly safe and secure and free from problems. This is an exhausting and ultimately futile pursuit, my child. Perfection is not attainable in this life. There will always be variables you cannot control, outcomes you cannot predict, situations that unfold differently than you hoped or planned. And yet, you are loved in your imperfection. You are valued despite your limitations. You are precious to me not because you manage to get everything right, but because you are mine. I am not expecting perfection from you. I am inviting you into the freedom that comes from accepting your humanity, your limitations, your need for grace. When you release yourself from the impossible standard of perfection, when you accept that mistakes and failures and imperfect outcomes are part of the human experience, you will find that much of your anxiety dissolves. So much of what you worry about is rooted in this fear of not measuring up, of not being good enough, of not managing to control outcomes perfectly. But I have already declared you good enough through my work on the cross. Your worth is settled. Your value is secure. Nothing you do or fail to do can change my love for you or my commitment to you. I want to speak now to the anxiety you feel about world events, about things happening on a global scale that feel overwhelming and beyond your power to impact. I see how you consume news and information, how you absorb the suffering and chaos and conflict happening around the world, how you feel helpless in the face of massive problems you cannot solve. My child, I am not indifferent to the suffering of my creation. I grieve over every injustice, every act of violence, every person who goes hungry or lacks shelter or lives in fear. And I am at work in ways far beyond what you can see, bringing light into darkness, raising up people to address these problems, orchestrating events toward ultimate redemption and restoration. You cannot solve all the world's problems, but you can be faithful with the influence you do have. You can pray. You can act with compassion in your own sphere of influence. You can be light in the darkness around you. You can trust that I see it all, that I care deeply, and that I am working toward the day when I will make all things new and wipe away every tear and bring an end to suffering and injustice forever. Do not let the weight of the world's problems crush you. Do not let the scope of global suffering paralyze you with anxiety. Do what is yours to do in this moment, in this place, with the people right in front of you, and trust me with everything that is beyond your power to change. As sleep begins to overtake you now, I want you to release every burden you have been carrying. Imagine yourself setting down a heavy backpack filled with all your worries and anxieties, just setting it down at my feet and walking away without picking it up again. You do not need to carry these burdens through the night. You do not need to solve every problem before you sleep. You can rest now. You can let go now. I will watch over everything that concerns you while you sleep. I will work in ways you cannot during these hours of rest. I will refresh and restore you so that when you wake tomorrow, you will have new strength and fresh perspective, and the grace you need for whatever the day may bring. But right now, in this moment, your only job is to rest. Close your eyes and feel my peace surrounding you like a warm blanket. Feel my presence near you like a guard, standing watch over your sleep. You are safe, you are loved, you are held secure in my care. Let your mind become quiet now. When anxious thoughts try to intrude, simply acknowledge them and let them pass without engaging with them. You do not have to follow those thoughts down anxious pathways. You can simply notice them and then return your attention to my presence, to the truth of my love for you, to the peace I am speaking over you right now. Breathe slowly and deeply. With each exhale, release tension and worry. With each inhale, receive my peace and presence. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind knows how to quiet. Your spirit knows how to settle into my love. Trust these natural processes I have built into your being. Surrender to the sleep that is coming, knowing that I never sleep or slumber, that I am watching over you with perfect care, that not a single moment of your night is outside my awareness and protection. I am proud of you for making it through this day. I see the battles you fight that no one else sees. I know the strength it takes to keep going when anxiety makes everything feel harder than it should be. I know how exhausting it is to live with this constant undercurrent of worry and fear. You are doing better than you think you are. You are stronger than you realize. And you are deeply loved, more deeply than you can possibly comprehend. My love for you is not based on how well you manage your anxiety or how quickly you overcome your struggles. My love for you is unconditional, unwavering, eternal. There is nothing you can do to make me love you more, and nothing you can do to make me love you less. You are mine, and I am yours, and that is settled for all eternity. Tomorrow is a new day with new mercies, new grace, new opportunities to trust me and experience my faithfulness. But you do not have to think about tomorrow right now. Right now, you can simply rest in this present moment, held in my love, surrounded by my peace, secure in my care. I want to continue speaking to your heart as you drift towards sleep. Because there is so much more, I want you to know about my heart toward you and about the truth that can set you free from the prison of anxiety that has held you captive for far too long. I see the anxiety you feel about time, about all the things you think you should be doing, about falling behind or not accomplishing enough or wasting the precious hours you have been given. I see how you rush from one thing to the next, how you fill every moment with activity and productivity, how you feel guilty when you rest, because you believe you should always be doing something useful or constructive. My child, I did not create you to be a machine that produces output without ceasing. I created you as a human being who needs rhythm and balance, who needs seasons of work and seasons of rest, who needs margin and space to simply be rather than always doing. Remember that I am the one who established the Sabbath, who built rest into the very fabric of creation, who modeled resting from work on the seventh day. Rest is not laziness. Rest is trust. When you rest, you are declaring that the world does not depend on your constant effort, that I am sovereign and capable of sustaining all things whether you are working or resting. You honor me when you receive rest as a gift rather than driving yourself into exhaustion because you believe everything depends on you. Time is not your enemy. You have enough time for everything I am calling you to do. What you do not have time for is everything you think you should do based on comparison with others, or on unrealistic expectations you have placed on yourself. Trust me to show you what truly matters, what is yours to do in this season, and release the rest without guilt or anxiety. I see your anxiety about past mistakes, about things you said or did or failed to do that you cannot go back and change. I see how you replay these moments in your mind, how you torture yourself with regret, how you imagine different choices you could have made and better outcomes that might have resulted if only you had been wiser or stronger or more aware. My beloved, the past is finished. You cannot change what has already happened, but I can redeem it. I specialize in bringing good out of evil, light out of darkness, beauty out of ashes. Every mistake you have made, every wrong choice, every failure, every regret can become part of your story of redemption if you will give it to me. I do not waste anything. I use even your greatest failures to teach you and grow you and prepare you for the good works I have planned for you to walk in. The enemy wants you to stay trapped in the past, endlessly reviewing your mistakes and condemning yourself for not being perfect. But I came to set captives free, to release prisoners from darkness, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. I am not holding your past against you. I paid for every sin, every mistake, every failure on the cross. It is finished. You are forgiven. You are free. Stop punishing yourself for things I have already forgiven. Stop rehearsing accusations against yourself that I have dismissed. Come into the present moment where my mercy is new, where my grace is sufficient, where my love covers a multitude of sins. I see your anxiety about being misunderstood, about people making wrong assumptions about your motives or character. I see how this drives you to over-explain yourself, to defend and justify your choices, to try to control how others perceive you. I see the hurt this causes when people judge you unfairly or criticize you without knowing the full story. My child, you will be misunderstood in this life. People will make wrong assumptions. They will judge you based on incomplete information. They will project their own issues onto you. They will sometimes think the worst of you when you are trying your best. This is painful, and I understand that pain. I too was misunderstood, accused falsely, judged unfairly by people who did not know my heart. But I did not defend myself endlessly. I did not exhaust myself trying to make everyone understand me correctly. I knew who I was. I knew my Father's approval. I knew my mission. That was enough. You do not need everyone to understand you correctly. You do not need to control what others think about you. You need to know who you are in me, to walk in integrity before me, to live according to my approval rather than seeking the approval of people who may never fully understand or appreciate you. Let people think what they will think. You cannot control their perceptions, and exhausting yourself trying to do so is a waste of the precious energy and peace I want you to have. I see your anxiety about change, about transitions and endings and new beginnings that feel uncertain and uncomfortable. I see how you cling to what is familiar even when it is not serving you well, because the unknown feels more threatening than the known difficulties you have learned to navigate. I see how you resist change, how you try to keep everything stable and predictable, how you feel anxious when circumstances shift and force you to adapt to new realities. My beloved, change is part of life in this world. Nothing stays the same. Seasons shift. People come and go. Circumstances evolve. Jobs end and new opportunities begin. Children grow up and leave home. Bodies age and abilities change. Relationships transform. This is the nature of temporal existence, but I am the constant in the midst of all this change. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I do not change. My love for you does not shift with changing seasons. My commitment to you is not subject to the fluctuations of circumstances. When everything around you is changing and you feel like you are losing your footing, you can anchor yourself to me, to my unchanging character, to my eternal promises that stand firm regardless of how much change swirls around you. I am with you in every transition. I go before you into every new season. I am preparing the way, working things out, orchestrating details you cannot see. Trust me in the changes. Trust me with the uncertainty. Trust me when you cannot see the path ahead clearly. I am leading you, and I know the way even when you do not. I want to speak to the physical symptoms that anxiety creates in your body, because I care about your body just as much as I care about your spirit. I see the headaches, the digestive issues, the muscle tension, the fatigue, the sleep disturbances, all the ways that chronic stress and anxiety are taking a toll on your physical health. Tonight, as you rest, I am ministering healing to your body. I am calming your overactive nervous system. I am releasing tension that has been stored in your muscles and tissues. I am bringing your body back into balance, restoring healthy function to systems that have been disrupted by prolonged stress. Breathe deeply and imagine my healing light flowing through your body, reaching every cell, every organ, every system. Imagine tension melting away like ice under warm sun. Imagine your body settling into a state of deep rest and restoration. Your body wants to heal. Your body wants to return to balance. I designed remarkable self-healing mechanisms into your physical form. And when you release anxiety and receive my peace, those healing mechanisms can function as they were designed to function. Trust your body's wisdom. Trust the restorative power of deep rest. Trust that I am working healing in you on every level: spirit, soul, and body. I see your anxiety about prayer, about whether you are doing it right, whether I am hearing you, whether your prayers are making any difference. I see how you sometimes feel like your words are just bouncing off the ceiling, like I am distant or disinterested or too busy with more important matters to pay attention to your small concerns. My precious child, every prayer you pray reaches my ears. Every whispered cry for help, every desperate plea in the middle of the night, every tearful confession, every simple request, I hear them all. You do not have to pray perfectly for me to hear you. You do not have to use the right words or the proper formula. You do not have to sound spiritual or eloquent. You can come to me like a child climbs into a parent's lap, simply, directly, honestly, without pretense. Tell me what you are feeling. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you are worried about. Tell me what is breaking your heart or filling you with fear or keeping you awake at night. I want to hear from you. I delight in your prayers. I am not distant or disinterested. I am present and attentive and deeply invested in every detail of your life. Your prayers do make a difference. They move my heart. They release my power. They align you with my purposes. They change things in the spiritual realm that you cannot see with physical eyes. Do not stop praying just because you do not see immediate answers. Do not give up just because some prayers seem to go unanswered. I am always working, always responding, always bringing about good purposes that may not be visible to you yet, but will be revealed in time. I see your anxiety about failure, about attempting things that do not work out, about falling short of goals you set for yourself, about disappointing others who are counting on you. I see how this fear of failure paralyzes you sometimes, keeping you from even trying because you are afraid of the pain of not succeeding. My child, failure is not fatal. It is feedback. It is information. It is part of the learning process. Every person who has ever accomplished anything worthwhile has failed many times along the way. I am not afraid of your failures. I can work with your failures just as easily as I work with your successes. In fact, some of my greatest works in people's lives have come through their failures, through moments when they fell flat on their faces and had nowhere to look but up. When they came to the end of their own strength and ability and discovered my grace and power in their weakness. I am not asking you to succeed at everything you attempt. I am asking you to be faithful, to try, to step out in faith even when outcomes are uncertain, to risk failure for the sake of growth and obedience and becoming who I created you to be. And when you do fail, and you will fail sometimes because you are human, I will be there to lift you up, to dust you off, to speak words of encouragement and truth over you, to help you learn from the experience and move forward stronger and wiser than before. Let me speak to the comparison trap that fuels so much anxiety in your life. I see how you look at others and measure yourself against them, how you feel inadequate when you see someone who seems more successful or more talented or more blessed than you. I see how social media feeds this anxiety, how you scroll through carefully curated highlights of other people's lives and feel like you are falling behind or missing out or not measuring up. My beloved, you are seeing a distorted picture. You are comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles with other people's highlight reels. You are measuring your worth against a false standard. I did not create you to be like anyone else. I created you to be uniquely you, with your own gifts and calling and purpose and path. There is no one else exactly like you in all of creation. You are not meant to follow someone else's journey or achieve someone else's dreams or look like someone else's idea of success. You are meant to discover who I made you to be and to walk in that identity with confidence and joy. Stop looking sideways at what others are doing or achieving. Look up at me. Look at what I am doing in your life, at the unique ways I am working in and through you, at the specific calling I have placed on your life. Run your own race. Walk your own path. Trust that I have given you everything you need to fulfill your purpose. And stop torturing yourself with comparisons that steal your joy and fuel unnecessary anxiety about measuring up to standards that were never meant for you. I see your anxiety about aging, about losing your youth and vitality, about becoming irrelevant or invisible or less capable as the years pass. I see your fear of decline, of losing independence, of becoming a burden rather than a contributor. My child, every stage of life has beauty and purpose and value. You are not less precious to me at 70 than you were at 20. Your worth is not determined by your productivity or your physical appearance or your ability to keep up with younger people around you. With age comes wisdom, depth, perspective that can only be gained through years of living and learning and walking with me through many seasons. I have purposes for you in every stage of life. I am not finished with you. I am not done using you. I am not ready to set you aside as no longer useful. In fact, some of my most powerful works happen through older saints who have decades of faithfulness and tested trust to draw upon. Do not despise the aging process. Do not rage against the natural progression of time and the changes it brings. Embrace each season, trust me with the losses that come, and look for the new gifts and opportunities that are unique to this time of life. I waste nothing. I use everything. Every wrinkle, every ache, every limitation can become a place where my power and grace shine more brightly than they ever could when you were young and strong and self-sufficient. I see your anxiety about being alone, about ending up isolated and forgotten, about not having people who truly know and love and accept you. I see how you sometimes feel lonely even when surrounded by people, how you long for deeper connection and more authentic relationships. I see the fears you carry about abandonment and rejection. My precious one, you are never truly alone. I am with you always. I see you, I know you completely, every thought, every feeling, every hidden fear and secret shame, and I love you without reservation or condition. I will never leave you. I will never abandon you. I will never turn away from you or grow tired of you or decide you are too much trouble. My commitment to you is eternal and absolute. And while human relationships may disappoint, and people may fail to love you as you deserve to be loved, I am raising up authentic community for you. I am bringing people into your life who will see you and accept you and love you well. Trust me with your relational needs. Be vulnerable enough to let people in. Take risks in friendship, even though relationship always carries the possibility of pain. I am building connections for you that will bless your life and minister to your heart. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are seen and known and deeply loved. As your mind grows quieter and sleep draws nearer, I want you to rest in these truths. You are safe in my care. Nothing can separate you from my love. No anxiety is too big for me to handle. No worry is too small for me to care about. I am intimately acquainted with all your ways. I know when you sit down and when you rise up. I understand your thoughts from afar. I am familiar with all your paths. Before a word is on your tongue, I know it completely. I hem you in, behind and before, and I lay my hand upon you. This knowledge is too wonderful for you, too lofty for you to fully comprehend, but you can rest in it nonetheless. You can trust that you are held, known, loved, and carefully watched over by a God who is infinitely powerful and infinitely good, and infinitely committed to your provision. Not just financial provision, but provision of all the resources and capabilities and support you need to face what is ahead of you. I see how you inventory your resources and conclude they are insufficient, how you calculate what you have versus what you need and panic at the deficit between the two. My beloved, I specialize in multiplying insufficient resources. I fed thousands with a boy's lunch. I filled nets to breaking with fish when experienced fishermen had caught nothing all night. I provided water from rocks and manna from heaven. I met needs in ways that defied natural logic or explanation. I am not limited by natural resources or conventional means. I can provide in ways you never imagined, through channels you never expected, at precisely the moment you need what I am providing. Your job is not to have everything you need stored up in advance. Your job is to trust me one day at a time, to look for my provision today, and to believe that when tomorrow comes and you need what tomorrow requires, I will be faithful to provide then, just as I am providing now. Anxiety wants you to live in the future, worried about not having what future situations might require. But I am inviting you to live in the present, receiving with gratitude what I am giving you today, and trusting that tomorrow's needs will be met with tomorrow's provision. I see your anxiety about your identity, about who you really are beneath all the roles you play and masks you wear and expectations you try to meet. I see how you sometimes feel lost or confused about your true self, unsure of your own desires and preferences, because you have spent so much energy adapting to what others need or expect from you. I see how you wonder if the real you is acceptable, if people would still love you if they saw behind the carefully constructed image you present to the world. My precious child, I know the real you, and the real you is beautiful. You do not have to pretend with me. You do not have to perform or prove or protect. You can be fully yourself, with all your quirks and contradictions and areas of growth, and be fully loved. In fact, I love the real you far more than any polished version you might present. I am not looking for perfection or performance. I am looking for authentic relationship with the person I actually created, not with some idealized version you think you should be. Stop exhausting yourself trying to be what you think others need you to be. Stop hiding your true self out of fear that the real you is not enough. Come into the light of my love where you can be seen fully and loved completely just as you are. This is where healing happens. This is where transformation takes root. Not in pretending to be what you are not, but in accepting what you are and trusting me to continue shaping you into who I created you to become. I see your anxiety about conflict, about disagreements and confrontation, and the possibility of damaging relationships through honest expression of differences. I see how you avoid difficult conversations, how you suppress your own needs and opinions to keep the peace, how you accommodate and compromise until you lose yourself in the process. I see the resentment that builds when you repeatedly sacrifice your own well-being to avoid conflict. And I see the anxiety that grows as problems remain unaddressed and tensions simmer beneath a surface of false harmony. My child, healthy relationships can handle honest communication. Real love is not so fragile that it shatters under the weight of truth spoken in love. You do not honor relationships by hiding your true feelings or pretending problems do not exist. You honor relationships by being honest, by addressing issues with grace and respect, by trusting that genuine connection is strengthened, not threatened, by authentic communication. I am not calling you to be harsh or unkind, or to dump every grievance on the people around you. But I am calling you to be truthful, to speak with courage and compassion, to trust that relationships worth having can handle reality and honesty and working through difficulties together. The temporary discomfort of a difficult conversation is far better than the long-term damage of suppressed truth and accumulated resentment. Trust me to guide you in these conversations. Ask me for wisdom and timing and words that communicate truth wrapped in love. I will help you navigate conflict in ways that honor both yourself and others. I see your anxiety about success, about achieving goals and reaching potential and making something of yourself according to the world's standards. I see how you drive yourself toward accomplishments, believing that success will finally give you the security and validation and satisfaction you are seeking. I see how you move goalposts, how achievement never quite delivers the peace it promises because there is always another level to reach, another goal to pursue, another way you could be doing better or achieving more. My beloved, success is not a destination that will solve your anxiety. External achievements cannot fill the inner emptiness that only I can fill. You are already enough in my eyes. You are already valuable beyond measure. You are already successful at what matters most, being my child, being loved and known and chosen by me. I am not opposed to goals or achievements or using your gifts to make meaningful contributions in the world. But I do not want you enslaved to success or anxious about achievement or measuring your worth by your accomplishments. Rest in my assessment of you. Root your identity in my love. Let your life flow from the overflow of being loved, rather than from the anxiety-driven pursuit of proving your worth through achievement. Let me speak to the specific anxiety patterns you have developed over time, the habitual ways your mind responds to uncertainty or stress. I see how quickly your thoughts spiral into worst-case scenarios, how automatically you imagine catastrophic outcomes, how efficiently your brain has learned to generate anxiety in response to triggers you may not even consciously recognize. These patterns were not created overnight, and they will not be undone overnight, but I am patient and I am committed to your healing and freedom. Each time you catch yourself in an anxious thought spiral and choose to redirect your mind toward truth, you are rewiring your brain. Each time you feel anxiety rising and you pause to pray or breathe or remind yourself of my promises, you are creating new pathways. Each time you refuse to follow fear down its well-worn path and instead choose trust, you are weakening anxiety's hold on your mind. This is a process, not an instant transformation, and I am with you in the process. Do not be discouraged by how long it seems to be taking. Do not condemn yourself for still struggling with anxiety, even after you have been working on it for months or years. Healing takes time. Change takes patience. Growth happens gradually. I am not frustrated with your pace. I am not disappointed in your progress. I am celebrating every small victory, every moment of choosing trust over worry, every instance of recognizing anxious thoughts and refusing to be controlled by them. I see your anxiety about worthiness, about whether you deserve good things or whether you should expect difficulty and struggle as your lot in life. I see the subtle ways you sabotage your own happiness, how you feel uncomfortable when things are going well, how you wait for the other shoe to drop because you do not quite believe you deserve sustained blessing and joy. My child, you are worthy of love not because you have earned it, but because I have declared you worthy. You deserve good things, not because you have proven yourself deserving, but because I delight in giving good gifts to my children. I do not withhold blessing from you, because you have not suffered enough or worked hard enough or proved yourself adequately. I am a good father who loves to bless my children, who takes pleasure in providing for you, who wants to give you good things and surround you with love and fill your life with joy. Stop waiting for disaster. Stop believing that happiness cannot last. Stop sabotaging your own well-being because you do not think you deserve better. Receive my blessings with open hands and grateful heart. Enjoy the good gifts I give you without anxiety that they will be taken away. Trust my goodness. Trust my generosity. Trust that I am for you, not against you, and that my heart toward you is infinitely kind and loving. I see your anxiety about vulnerability, about letting people see your weaknesses and struggles and areas where you are not strong or capable. I see how you work to appear confident and competent, how you hide your insecurities behind a mask of having it all together. How isolated this leaves you, because no one knows the real battles you are fighting. My beloved, vulnerability is not weakness, it is courage. It takes tremendous strength to let yourself be seen, to admit you do not have all the answers, to ask for help when you need it. This is where genuine connection happens. This is where authentic community is built. when you pretend to be stronger than you are, when you hide your struggles and present a false image of having everything under control. You rob yourself of the support and encouragement and practical help that others could provide. You also rob them of the opportunity to realize they are not alone in their own struggles. Your vulnerability gives others permission to be real. Your honesty about your anxieties and weaknesses and areas of growth creates space for genuine relationship rather than superficial interaction based on pretense and performance. I am not asking you to broadcast your struggles to everyone or to be inappropriately vulnerable with unsafe people. But I am asking you to let down your guard with people who have proven trustworthy. To let yourself be known rather than always protecting and hiding, and presenting a carefully curated version of yourself that is not fully real. As you drift deeper into rest, I want to speak blessing over your sleeping hours. May your sleep be deep and refreshing. May your body use these hours for repair and restoration. May your mind release the anxious thoughts that have troubled you and instead receive the peace and truth I am speaking. May you dream dreams that heal rather than disturb, that bring hope rather than fear. May you wake tomorrow with renewed strength and fresh perspective, ready to face whatever the day may bring with courage and faith. May you carry into tomorrow not the burden of anxiety, but the gift of peace, not the weight of worry, but the lightness of trust. May you remember as you wake that you are loved, that I am with you, that you are not alone in whatever challenges or uncertainties lie ahead. May you step into the new day confident that my grace is sufficient, that my strength is available, that my wisdom will guide you and my presence will sustain you through every moment. I see your anxiety about being a burden, about taking up too much space, or requiring too much attention, or asking for too much from the people around you. I see how you minimize your own needs, how you apologize for having problems or struggles, how you make yourself small to avoid inconveniencing others. My precious child, you are not a burden. You are a blessing. Your needs are legitimate. Your struggles are real. You do not have to shrink yourself or apologize for being human and needing what humans need: support, encouragement, help, companionship, understanding. The people who truly love you do not experience you as a burden when you share your struggles with them. They experience the privilege of being trusted, of being allowed into your real life, of having the opportunity to love you in practical ways. Stop apologizing for needing people. Stop feeling guilty for not being entirely self-sufficient. I created you for community, for interdependence, for giving and receiving care. You are allowed to need people. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to take up space and have needs and expect the people who claim to love you to actually show up and support you when life is hard. This is not being selfish or needy. This is being human. This is living in the reality of mutual care and authentic relationship. I see your anxiety about missing out, about making wrong choices that close doors or eliminate possibilities, about not experiencing everything you could experience or becoming everything you could become. I see how this drives you to overcommit, to say yes to too many things, to exhaust yourself trying to pursue every opportunity because you are afraid of missing something important. My child, you cannot do everything. You cannot be everything. You cannot experience every possibility or explore every path. You are limited by time and energy and capacity. This is not a flaw in your design. This is an inherent feature of being human. You were created with limitations, and those limitations are meant to force choices, to require wisdom about priorities, to teach you to discern what is truly important, rather than frantically chasing every opportunity that presents itself. I am not calling you to do everything. I am calling you to do what I am asking you to do in this season. Trust that the opportunities I am asking you to pursue are the right ones for you. Trust that the doors I close are protecting you from paths that would not serve your highest good. Trust that my plans for you are better than your plans for yourself, and that following my guidance even when it means saying no to seemingly good opportunities, will lead you exactly where you need to go. I see your anxiety about being forgotten, about dying and leaving no legacy, about your life not mattering in any lasting way. I see how you worry that you will be gone, and no one will remember you, or that you will not have made a significant impact that endures beyond your lifetime. My beloved, your life matters eternally because you matter eternally. You are not just a temporary physical being who will cease to exist when your body stops functioning. You are an eternal soul who will live forever. Every choice you make toward love, every act of faith, every moment of obedience, every kindness shown, every truth spoken, these things have eternal significance that ripples far beyond what you can see in the moment. You are impacting eternity every single day through the choices you make, and the love you demonstrate, and the light you shine into darkness. And beyond that, beyond any legacy you leave in human memory or earthly impact, you are known and loved and remembered by me. Your name is written in the palm of my hand. You are engraved on my heart. I will never forget you. I will never lose track of you. You matter to me individually and personally and eternally, and that is a significance that transcends any earthly measure of success or impact or being remembered by other humans. I see your anxiety about technology and the rapidly changing world, about artificial intelligence and automation, and all the ways the future seems uncertain and potentially threatening. I see how you worry about job security in a world where machines can do more and more of what humans once did. I see your concerns about privacy and security and the loss of human connection in an increasingly digital world. I see your fears about where all this change is leading and whether there will be a place for you in the future that is rapidly approaching. My child, I am not surprised by technological advancement or caught off guard by the pace of change. I am sovereign over human innovation and discovery. I am present in the future, just as I am present now. The same God who sustained my people through the Industrial Revolution and the Information Age is fully capable of sustaining you through whatever changes lie ahead. Your security is not in technology remaining stable or familiar. Your security is in me, and I do not change regardless of how dramatically the world around you transforms. The core of human need remains constant across all generations and technological eras. The need for love, for meaning, for connection, for purpose, for hope. These needs can only be truly met in me, and no amount of technological advancement changes that fundamental reality. Trust me with the future. Trust me with change. Trust me with the unknown. I go before you into whatever lies ahead, and I am already there, preparing the way, working good purposes, ensuring that nothing takes me by surprise or threatens my ability to care for those who belong to me. Let your body settle even more deeply into rest now. Feel the softness beneath you supporting your weight. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath flowing in and out without effort. Feel the beating of your heart, steady and strong, faithfully pumping life through your body without you having to think about it or control it. Your body knows how to do what it needs to do. Your body is an incredible creation, fearfully and wonderfully made, with systems and processes designed to sustain and heal and restore. Trust your body tonight. Trust the natural rhythms of rest and sleep. Trust that you can let go of conscious control and allow your body to do what it was created to do during these hours of sleep. You are safe. You are held. You are watched over. Nothing requires your vigilance right now. Nothing needs your management or oversight or control. You can rest completely, trusting me to watch over all that concerns you while you sleep. I see your anxiety about consistency, about your inability to maintain disciplines or stick with commitments or follow through on intentions you set with genuine sincerity. I see how you start things and then struggle to continue them, how you make resolutions and then break them, how you commit to changes and then slip back into old patterns. I see the shame this creates, the self-condemnation, the sense that you cannot trust yourself or that you lack the willpower and discipline to become who you want to be. My child, transformation is not primarily about willpower or self-discipline or mustering enough determination to force yourself into new behaviors. Transformation happens from the inside out as I work in you, as you abide in me and let my spirit produce fruit in your life. Yes, there is a place for intentionality and effort and choosing to align your actions with your values. But lasting change is not achieved through gritted teeth determination alone. Lasting change comes through relationship with me, through staying connected to the vine so that life flows into you, and through you producing fruit naturally rather than through forced effort that quickly exhausts itself. Do not be so harsh with yourself when you struggle with consistency. Do not condemn yourself so severely for being human and fallible and imperfect in your follow-through. I see your heart. I know your intentions. I celebrate your progress even when it seems minimal to you. Keep showing up. Keep trying. Keep bringing your inconsistency to me rather than hiding it in shame. I am patient with your process. I am committed to your growth. I am not giving up on you even when you feel like giving up on yourself. I see your anxiety about loss, about losing people you love or possessions you value or abilities you currently have. I see how the awareness that nothing lasts forever creates an undercurrent of grief, even in moments of joy. How you cannot fully enjoy good things because you are already anticipating their absence. I see how you try to hold tight to people and things, how you attempt to prevent loss through control and protection and careful management of risk. My beloved, loss is real and painful in this broken world. You will experience loss in this life. Everyone does. But I am with you in loss. I am the God of all comfort, who comforts you in all your troubles. I am the one who collects your tears in a bottle, who knows every grief and loss you experience, who enters into your pain rather than remaining distant from it. I am also the one who restores. What the locust has eaten, I will restore. I bring beauty from ashes, joy from mourning, praise from despair. I specialize in redemption, in bringing good out of painful situations, in creating new possibilities out of endings and losses. You do not have to live in perpetual fear of loss. You can enjoy what you have while you have it, fully present to the gift of this moment, this person, this blessing. Trusting that even when loss comes, and it will come, I will be there to sustain you and eventually to restore and redeem what was lost. Nothing is wasted in my economy. Every loss has the potential to become part of a larger story of redemption and restoration that you cannot yet see, but will one day recognize as evidence of my faithful presence and redemptive power. I see your anxiety about energy, about running out of emotional or physical or spiritual resources before you complete what needs to be done. I see how you calculate your energy levels and worry that you will not have enough to meet the demands on you, how you try to conserve and ration and carefully manage your limited reserves. My child, my strength is made perfect in weakness. When you reach the end of your own resources, that is when you are most positioned to experience my power flowing through you. I am not limited by your exhaustion or depletion. I can give you strength that goes beyond your natural capacity. I can sustain you when you feel you cannot go on. I can renew your energy like the eagles who soar on wings, who run and do not grow weary, who walk and do not faint. Stop trying to do everything in your own strength. Stop believing you have to rely solely on your limited human energy. Learn to draw on my unlimited power and strength. Learn to recognize when you are running on empty and need to pause and be refilled from my wellspring of life and energy. I am not asking you to exhaust yourself or to run yourself into the ground. I am inviting you to abide in me as the source of your strength, to receive from me the energy and resources and capacity you need for whatever I am asking you to do today. And when I am not asking you to do something, when rest is what is needed, I give you permission to rest without guilt, to say no without apology. To protect your limited energy, rather than spending it on everything that demands your attention. As you near the edge of sleep, I want you to know how proud I am of you. I see the battles you fight that no one else sees. I see the courage it takes to keep getting up each day when anxiety makes everything feel harder. I see the times you choose faith, even when fear is screaming. I see the moments you reach out for help instead of isolating in your struggle. I see every small victory, every tiny step forward, every choice to trust me even when circumstances feel overwhelming. You are doing better than you think. You are stronger than you believe. You are more loved than you can imagine. I am with you, I am for you, and I am working in you and through you in ways that will become clear in time but may not be visible to you now. Trust the process. Trust my timing. Trust that I am doing a good work in you and I am faithful to complete it. You are not a project to be fixed or a problem to be solved. You are my beloved child in whom I delight, and I am walking with you through this journey of healing and growth and transformation with infinite patience and unwavering commitment. Sleep now, my precious one. Let all these words settle into your spirit like seeds planted in fertile soil. Let them take root deep within you where they can grow and produce fruit in their time. Let them replace the lies anxiety has been speaking. Let them become the foundation on which you stand when anxiety tries to sweep you away. I want to speak even more deeply into your heart as you rest, because there are truths you need to hear that can transform not just this night, but every anxious moment you will face in the days and weeks and months ahead. I see your anxiety about decisions already made, about paths already chosen that you cannot undo. I see how you replay past choices in your mind, second-guessing yourself, wondering if you should have chosen differently, tormented by what-ifs and might-have-beens. I see how you get stuck in the past, unable to fully inhabit the present because part of you is still back there in that moment of decision, wishing you could go back and choose again. My beloved child, you cannot change the past, but I can redeem it. Every choice you have made, even the ones that seem like mistakes in hindsight, has brought you to this moment where you are right now. I can work with where you are. I can bring good out of choices that seemed wrong. I can redirect paths that took an unexpected turn. Stop punishing yourself for not having perfect foresight or flawless wisdom. You made the best decisions you could with the information and understanding you had at the time. I was with you then, and I am with you now. I have not abandoned you because you took a path I did not prefer. I have not left you to suffer the consequences of imperfect choices alone. I am here working redemption, creating new possibilities, opening doors you do not yet see. Trust me with your past. Give me your regrets. Let me take the broken pieces of choices you wish you could unmake and create something beautiful from them. This is what I do. This is who I am. I am the Redeemer of all things, including your past decisions and their consequences. I see your anxiety about spiritual matters, about whether you are praying enough or reading scripture enough or growing fast enough in your faith. I see how you compare your spiritual journey to others and feel like you are falling short. How you worry that you are disappointing me, or that your faith is not strong enough, or that you are not measuring up to what a good Christian should be. My child, I'm not keeping score. I'm not comparing you to anyone else. I'm not disappointed in your pace of growth or frustrated with your questions and doubts. I love you exactly where you are right now. I'm not waiting for you to become spiritually mature enough to deserve my love. I love you in your immaturity, in your inconsistency, in your struggle and doubt and confusion. Your relationship with me is not about performing correctly or achieving spiritual milestones or proving your devotion through disciplines and practices. Your relationship with me is about connection, about intimacy, about learning to recognize my voice and respond to my love and walk with me through every moment of your life. Some seasons are full of prayer and Bible reading and obvious spiritual activity. Other seasons are dry and difficult, and you are just hanging on by a thread. I am with you in all of it. I'm not more pleased with you in the full seasons than I am in the empty ones. I see your heart. I know your love for me even when it does not express itself in ways that look spiritual to others. Stop measuring yourself by external metrics. Stop worrying about whether you are doing enough or being enough spiritually. Rest in my love. Receive my acceptance. Let that be the foundation from which your spiritual life grows naturally rather than through anxious striving to prove yourself worthy. I see your anxiety about finances again, but this time let me speak to a deeper level. It is not just about whether there will be enough money. It is about feeling secure in an insecure world, about having a sense of control when so much feels out of your control, about protecting yourself from vulnerability and dependence. Money feels like security, like safety, like the answer to many problems and the shield against many fears. And yet, no amount of money is ever quite enough to quiet the anxiety, because the anxiety is not really about money at its core. It is about trust. It is about whether you believe I am truly faithful to provide for your needs. It is about whether you trust my promise that I will never leave you or forsake you, that I care for you more than the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. I am not naive about the reality of financial stress or the genuine challenges that come with limited resources in a world where everything costs money. But I am inviting you to trust me at a level deeper than your bank account. I am inviting you to believe that even if you lost everything, you would still have me, and I would be enough. I would provide. I would sustain. I would make a way where there seems to be no way. This does not mean being irresponsible or foolish with money. It means holding your resources with open hands, using wisdom while resting in faith, working hard while trusting ultimately not in your own efforts, but in my faithfulness to care for my children. I see your anxiety about conflict within yourself, about the internal battles between who you are and who you want to be, between desires that pull in different directions, between the part of you that wants to follow me wholeheartedly and the part of you that is drawn toward things you know are not good for you. I see the shame you feel about these internal struggles, the sense that you should have conquered these battles by now, the fear that something is fundamentally broken in you because you still wrestle with temptations and struggles you thought you would have outgrown. My beloved, internal conflict is part of the human condition this side of eternity. Even the Apostle Paul wrote about doing what he did not want to do and not doing what he wanted to do. You are not uniquely defective because you still struggle. You are not hopelessly broken because transformation is taking longer than you hoped. Sanctification is a lifelong process, and I am patient with that process. I am not shocked or disappointed by your ongoing struggles. I see them, I understand them, and I am actively at work in you bringing about transformation from the inside out. Your job is not to wage these battles in your own strength until you achieve victory through sheer willpower. Your job is to stay connected to me, to keep bringing your struggles to me honestly, to receive my grace for each day, and to trust that I am faithfully completing the good work I began in you. Change is happening even when you cannot see it. Growth is occurring even when you feel stuck. I am faithful, and I will bring you to completion. I see your anxiety about health again, but let me speak to a different dimension of it. It is not just about physical symptoms or medical concerns. It is about mortality, about the awareness that this body is temporary and that physical death is an inevitable reality for everyone who lives in this world. You try not to think about it most of the time, but underneath many of your health anxieties is this fundamental fear of dying, of ceasing to exist, of facing the unknown that comes after physical life ends. My child, I have conquered death. I have defeated the grave. I have opened the way to eternal life. Physical death is not the end for those who belong to me. It is a doorway into fullness of life, into complete freedom from pain and struggle and anxiety, into the presence of God in unmediated fullness. I understand that death still feels threatening from this side of it. I understand the natural human fear of the unknown, and the grief of separation from loved ones that death brings. But I want you to know that death does not have the final word. I do. And my word over you is life, abundant life now, and eternal life that extends beyond physical death into forever. You do not have to fear what lies on the other side, because I have gone ahead of you. I have prepared a place for you. And I will be there to receive you when your time comes to cross from this life into the next. Until then, live fully. Live without the shadow of death dimming your joy. Live with the confidence that nothing can separate you from my love, not even death itself. I see your anxiety about being authentic, about whether you can truly be yourself without risking rejection or judgment or loss of relationships and opportunities that matter to you. I see how exhausting it is to monitor yourself constantly, to edit your words and hide your true reactions and present a version of yourself that you think will be acceptable to others. I see how isolating this is, how even when you are surrounded by people you feel alone, because no one really knows the real you. My precious one, the false self you have constructed for protection is actually a prison. It keeps you safe from some rejection, but it also keeps you from genuine connection and authentic love. When people only know the curated version of you, they cannot truly love you. They can only love the image you have presented. And deep down you know this, which is why even affirmation and acceptance based on your false self does not truly satisfy. I am inviting you into the freedom of being known and loved as you truly are. This requires courage. It requires risk. It requires discernment about who is safe to be authentic with. But the reward is worth the risk: genuine relationships, authentic community, the deep satisfaction of being truly seen and still loved. Start small. Practice being more honest about your thoughts and feelings with people who have proven trustworthy. Notice what happens. I think you will find that the acceptance you receive is more real and more satisfying than the conditional approval you get for performing the way others expect. And with me, you never have to perform. I already know you completely, and I love you completely. There is nothing you need to hide from me. You can be fully, authentically yourself in my presence, and you will find only love and acceptance and delight. Let your body relax even more deeply now. Scan through your body mentally and notice where you are still holding tension. Your jaw, is it clenched? Let it soften. Your forehead, are you furrowing your brow? Let it smooth. Your hands, are they curled into fists? Let them open and rest gently. Your stomach, are you holding it tight? Let it soften and expand with your breath. Every muscle in your body can release now. You do not need to be braced against anything. You do not need to be ready for impact. You can be soft, vulnerable, completely relaxed, because you are held safe in my care. Nothing can harm you here. Nothing threatens you now. You can let go of all the protective tension you carry and simply rest in the safety of my presence. Feel peace settling into your muscles like a gentle massage, releasing knots and tightness. Feel relaxation spreading through your body like warm honey, slow and sweet and soothing. You are safe. You can rest. You can let go. I see your anxiety about being productive enough, about using your time wisely, about not wasting the precious hours of your life on things that do not matter. I see how you feel guilty when you rest, how you criticize yourself for not accomplishing more, how you measure your days by what you produced rather than by who you were or how you loved or what you experienced. My child, your value is not in your productivity. You are not a machine designed to produce output. You are a human being created for relationship, for love, for experiencing beauty and joy and connection. Yes, work matters. Yes, using your gifts and contributing to the world around you is important. But you are not less valuable on days when you accomplish little than you are on days when you check everything off your list. Rest is not wasted time. Play is not frivolous. Joy is not indulgent. Beauty is not unnecessary. You need these things as much as you need food and water and sleep. They nourish parts of you that productivity cannot reach. Stop feeling guilty for being human. Stop apologizing for needing more than just work and responsibility in your life. I give you permission to rest, to play, to enjoy, to simply be without constantly doing. This is not laziness. This is receiving the fullness of life I offer you. This is honoring the complex human being I created you to be rather than reducing yourself to a production unit whose value is measured in output. I see your anxiety about forgiveness, about whether you have truly forgiven people who hurt you or whether bitterness still lurks in your heart. I see how you worry about whether you are holding grudges, whether you need to forgive again, whether you are failing at forgiveness because you still feel pain when you remember what was done to you. My beloved, forgiveness is not primarily about feelings. It is a choice, a decision, a release. You can choose forgiveness even while still feeling hurt. You can decide to release someone from your judgment, even while the wound they inflicted still causes pain. Forgiveness does not mean pretending you were not hurt or that what was done to you was acceptable. It does not mean trusting someone who has proven untrustworthy or continuing in relationship with someone who continues to harm you. Forgiveness means choosing not to hold the offense against them, not to seek revenge, not to rehearse their wrong over and over in a loop of bitterness and resentment. It means releasing them to me to deal with, trusting me to be the righteous judge, while you let go of the exhausting work of keeping score and maintaining your case against them. The freedom forgiveness brings is primarily for you, not for them. When you choose forgiveness, you are choosing your own freedom from the prison of bitterness and the burden of carrying their offense. You are choosing to trust me to handle what was done to you, to bring justice in my way and my timing, while you release yourself from the toxic work of nursing wounds and holding grudges. I see your anxiety about missing my will for your life, about taking wrong paths or making choices that move you away from my best for you. I see how you agonize over decisions, searching desperately for clear signs or unmistakable guidance, afraid that you will miss what I want for you and end up in a second-best life or outside my plan altogether. My child, my will is not a tightrope you must walk perfectly or fall off into disaster. My will is more like a broad path with room to move, to make choices, to take different routes that can all lead to good destinations. I am not hiding my will from you like a puzzle you must solve correctly or suffer the consequences. I am actively guiding you, speaking to you, showing you the next step. And when you take a wrong turn, I do not abandon you to your mistake. I redirect, I course correct. I work with where you are and guide you from there. You cannot miss my will for your life by making wrong choices because I am bigger than your choices. I can work with any path you take. I can bring good out of any direction you go. This does not mean your choices do not matter or that you should be careless about decisions. It means you can make choices with confidence that I am involved in your life, guiding you, working through even your imperfect decisions to accomplish my purposes. Trust that I am speaking to you through my word, through my spirit, through wise counsel, through circumstances, through the desires and gifts I have placed in you. Pay attention to where I am leading, and step forward with confidence that even if you misstep, I will catch you and guide you back. I see your anxiety about world suffering and your own relative comfort, about whether it is okay to be happy when so many people are suffering, about whether you should be doing more to help, or giving more, or sacrificing more. I see the guilt you carry about having enough when others have so little, about spending money on things you want when others lack basic necessities. My beloved, guilt is not a useful or healthy motivation for compassion. I'm not asking you to live in perpetual guilt about your blessings or to deny yourself all joy because others are suffering. I am asking you to hold your blessings with gratitude and generosity, to be compassionate toward others without drowning in guilt, to give generously without giving to the point of your own harm or deprivation. You cannot solve all the world's problems. You cannot single-handedly eliminate poverty or injustice or suffering, but you can be faithful with the resources and opportunities I give you. You can be generous. You can be compassionate. You can be an agent of my love and justice in whatever sphere of influence I have given you. And you can do all this without guilt, without anxiety about whether you are doing enough. Give as I lead you to give. Serve where I call you to serve. Love the people I put in front of you. And receive with gratitude the good gifts I give you without guilt or shame about being blessed. My desire is not for everyone to be equally miserable. My desire is for everyone to flourish, to have enough, to experience my goodness. Your flourishing does not take away from others. Your joy does not diminish anyone else's well-being. Receive your blessings gratefully and use them generously, trusting me to guide your compassion without the burden of guilt. As sleep takes hold now, let these final truths settle deep into your spirit where they can do their transformative work. You are loved with a love that will never fail, never falter, never diminish. You are held secure in hands that will never let you go. You are known completely and accepted fully. You are precious beyond measure, valuable beyond calculation, important beyond your ability to comprehend. There is nothing you can do to earn this love, and nothing you can do to lose it. It is unconditional, unwavering, eternal. This love is the bedrock truth on which you can build your entire life. This love is the answer to every anxiety, every fear, every worry that troubles your heart. When you know deep in your bones that you are loved this completely, anxiety loses its power over you. Not all at once, transformation takes time. But gradually, steadily, as you return again and again to this truth of my love, you will find anxiety's grip on your heart loosening. You will find yourself able to trust more easily, to release control more fully, to rest more deeply. I see your anxiety about the body of Christ, about finding genuine community, about whether you belong in the church, or whether you are too broken, or too different, or too full of questions and doubts to fit in with people who seem to have it all figured out. I see how you feel isolated, even within Christian community, how you hide your struggles because you fear judgment or rejection. My child, the church is meant to be a place of healing, not a museum for perfect people. It is a hospital for sinners, a community of broken people being made whole together. You do not have to have it all figured out to belong. You do not have to hide your struggles or pretend to be stronger than you are. The body needs you exactly as you are, with all your questions and doubts and areas of brokenness. Your authenticity gives others permission to be real. Your vulnerability creates space for genuine connection. Do not isolate yourself because you do not feel spiritual enough or healed enough or together enough. Come as you are and find others who are also coming as they are. And together experience the transforming power of authentic community, where people carry one another's burdens and speak truth in love and offer grace upon grace. I see your anxiety about prayer requests you have been bringing to me for months or years without seeing the answer you long for. I see how this creates doubt about whether I am really listening, whether I really care, whether prayer makes any real difference. I see the disappointment and discouragement that comes from unanswered prayers. My beloved, I hear every prayer. I miss nothing. But my answers are not always yes, and my timing is not always what you would prefer. Sometimes I answer in ways you do not recognize as answers. Sometimes I am doing something deeper and more significant than what you asked for, something that requires time and process rather than instant resolution. Sometimes I say no or not yet because I see things you cannot see, and I know what is truly best for you in ways that transcend your current perspective and understanding. Trust me in the waiting. Trust me when answers do not come or come differently than you hoped. Trust that I am good, that I am faithful, that I am working for your ultimate good, even when immediate circumstances do not reflect that reality in ways you can see. Keep praying. Keep bringing your requests to me. Do not give up on prayer just because you do not see immediate results. Prayer is not a formula that produces guaranteed outcomes. Prayer is relationship, is intimacy, is aligning yourself with my heart and my purposes. The value of prayer is not just in what it accomplishes, but in what it does in you as you come into my presence and open your heart to me and learn to trust me with outcomes you cannot control. I see your anxiety about showing emotion, about whether it is okay to cry or to be angry or to express feelings that feel too big or too messy or too much for the people around you. I see how you try to control your emotions, to keep them contained and manageable, to present a calm exterior even when you are churning inside. My child, I gave you emotions. I created you with the capacity to feel deeply, to experience the full range of human feeling from joy to sorrow, from peace to anger, from contentment to despair. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are messengers bringing you important information about your inner world, about what matters to you, about what needs attention or healing or change. I'm not afraid of your emotions. I can handle your anger and your grief and your confusion and your doubt. I do not need you to be calm and composed in my presence. You can bring me your rage, your tears, your questions, your despair. You can be as honest and raw and real as you need to be. I will not reject you for being emotional. I will not condemn you for feeling deeply. Let yourself feel what you feel without judgment or shame. Let your emotions move through you rather than staying trapped inside where they create anxiety and tension and physical symptoms. Express them appropriately, not by dumping on others in harmful ways, but by acknowledging them honestly, bringing them to me, and processing them with safe people who can handle your emotional reality without trying to fix you or shut you down or make you feel bad for feeling what you feel. I see your anxiety about time running out, about getting older without having accomplished what you hope to accomplish or become who you hope to become. I see how you feel the pressure of time passing, how you look at your life and feel disappointed or behind or like you have wasted years that you cannot get back. My beloved, you have not wasted anything. Every experience, every mistake, every detour, every season that felt like wandering in the wilderness has been part of your formation. I use everything. I waste nothing. The years you think were lost were actually preparation for what is ahead. The time you think was wasted was actually necessary for becoming who you needed to be. It is never too late to step into your calling. It is never too late to make changes. It is never too late to begin again. I am still writing your story. I am still working in you and through you. I am still bringing about purposes that will surprise and delight you. Stop looking back with regret. Stop measuring yourself against timelines and milestones that were never meant for you. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be right now. And from this place, from this moment, I am leading you forward into good things, into purposes that fit who you have become through all your experiences, into a future that is better than what you could have planned for yourself, even if everything had gone exactly as you once hoped. Your best days are not behind you, they are ahead of you, and I am with you, faithful and true, leading you step by step into the life I have prepared for you. Rest now, my beloved child. Let your mind be quiet. Let your heart be still. Let your body settle into deep restorative sleep. I am watching over you through the night. I am guarding your heart and your mind. I am surrounding you with my presence and my peace. Nothing can harm you here. Nothing threatens you now. You are safe. You are loved. You are held secure in everlasting arms that will never let you go. When morning comes, you will wake refreshed and renewed, ready to face the new day with strength and courage and hope. But that is for tomorrow. Tonight, right now in this moment, your only task is to rest, to sleep, to trust, to receive my love and my peace and my promise that I am with you and I will never leave you. You are mine and I am yours forever and always. Sleep in peace, my precious one. Sleep in perfect peace.